Alright guys, my name's Sami from Pioneer DJ and I'm at GetintheMix to look at our new all-in-one DJ system, the XDJ-RR. Let's dive straight in and look at one of my favourite features of the unit. That is the 7-inch screen that we have here. A couple of reasons why I like it. Firstly, this displays both waveforms. If we use our rotary selector that has come from our CDJ Nexus 2, we can zoom in and out of our waveforms, clearly showing the different marks of the tracks. The other reason why I like this is because it shows which key you're in, it does a countdown to the next bar, and it just has all the information that you need. This information that we're getting here is the same as our Nexus 2 CDJs, but they would normally be just above each deck. But now we have got one screen that represents both decks. A couple of tricks that I've got when looking at this screen. So a couple of people have asked how to grid on the fly. Gridding your track is very important. You can do this in export mode of Rekordbox, but what I like to do sometimes is do it on the unit itself. So I use the rotary selector to zoom in, and then what I'll do, I will hold it down, and as you can see, the red marker has now changed as in one full line. And then I can shift this across right or left, and this is how I grid my tracks on the fly. Now I really like doing this because it means that I can get all my tracks in time. When I have got quantize on and I'm using my looping functions, it means everything is going to be snapping to the grid, which is key to make sure that it's in time when I'm playing live. Another thing I like is when we go onto USB 1 and I'm searching through my different tracks, I can go onto this playlist here, and I've got I've got 90 songs in this playlist, and when I want to go through it quite quick, it's quite tiring to constantly turn the wheel. But if we hold this in, this will almost do a super search, and it will go down page by page, making it a lot more faster. Another way I like to use this is when I go onto my tracks and I hold in my rotary selector, it will show A, which means it's going to display each letter of the alphabet, and I can go in there and quickly find my track. They're just a couple of little tricks that I like to use when using the XDJ-RR. Let's explain a little bit more about this screen. So we have your back, your tag function here, and your remove tag function. To the left of the screen, we have MIDI, which means that you connect it to a laptop. If you are a DJ that likes to go out on the road and use their laptop, don't worry, you can still do that with the XDJ-RR. That's just on MIDI here. We have USB 1 and USB 2. Just above this, we have our search function. If you hold down browse, it will allow you to go through the alphabet and type in the letters of the song you want to get up. Next, we have our tag lists, information, and our utility settings. Now, your utility settings you can change on the unit itself, but I like to prepare before my sets. So what I do is I go into Rekordbox export mode and I change the settings on USB. The exact same settings you are going to find here, they're on this USB. When I put in the USB, I can press load and load my settings to this unit. This is the same as when you go out and play on a CDJ. So if you're using this at home and then you go and use our Nexus range in the club, you can do the same thing. You press load and then load your settings to that deck. Really important. On the left hand side of the screen, we have here the mic input that has your level, 2-band EQ with low and high, and then a switchboard with on and talk over. On the right hand side of the unit, we have our dual USBs. Very, very important, and I'll tell you why. Firstly, because you can go back to back with another DJ very easily using your USB 1 and USB 2 options here. You can also do a recording straight to your USB 2 by using the master record function. I really like this because this puts a WAV file straight onto the USB, and if we go onto my USB, you can see we've got Pioneer DJ recordings, and here it's just the last recording I've done, which was a test in the office. Really nice feature, something I feel is really key if you want to record a mix at home and put it online. You can record straight to the USB and then within seconds upload it to any social media site. Moving away from the top section of the unit, we're going to take a look at the deck and mixer section. So what we have here is a clear divide between your mixer and your deck. This is great because it does make you feel like you've got a mini CDJ and mixer setup. Again, These features here display a lot of DNA from our Nexus 2 range, and that's in our DJM range as well. And I'm going to explain a bit more about that as I go into the different features of the unit. So here, I've mentioned previously, we have our loop in and loop out system. We have cue call, delete, memory, vinyl or CD mode, sync, master, and the tempo adjust down here. Now this section here is very, very similar to our Nexus 2 range, which is great because I use these different functions, and when I go into a club, it's nice to know they're going to be in the same place where I practice at home. Just to the left of this, we have our performance controls, and what we have here is hot cue, beat loop, slip loop, and beat jump. Let's go in there and have a little look at the actual controls itself and what they do. So here we have your hot cues. By now, hopefully everyone knows what a hot cue is, but if you don't, this is you triggering one point of the track. So I've set different hot cues throughout the track, and as I press the button, it will trigger it from the point I've set. So we have this, the first bit of the track, really responsive with Rekordbox, really responsive with the screen, really responsive with the unit itself. Nice feature, I like it. Beat loop. Now what it's going to do is create a loop straight from me pressing the control. So this is set as 16 beat loop, and as I go down, it's going to shorten the loop. 8, 4, and 2. The next one is slip loop. And what this does, this is the same as beat loop, but except this will allow the track to carry on playing underneath. So when I press the first control, it's going to enter a slip loop. And while I'm pressing this, you can see here the track is continuously being played underneath. So when I release, it's going to be to the original part of the track. And these just change the parameters, so it just gets tighter and tighter as you go down. To the right hand side of this, the last one is beat jump. And this allows you to jump back and forth in beats depending on when you want to do it in a mix. I tend to do this when I have a section that I don't like, and I skip it forward 16 beats, or I skip it forward 32 beats. It just depends on you as an artist and what you'd like to do. But it's a really great feature, and it works seamlessly within the mix. You don't even hear the change. Again, really cool feature, something that I like to use when I'm DJing on the fly. Just to mention also, as you can see, we have a secondary option underneath. This is an extension of the first function that we have. To enter into these secondary functions, all you do is hold shift and then press say hot cue, and it will then flash, as you can see here. And this means that I am now in hot cue 2. And all this does is create more hot cue banks for you to work with. Now let's take a look at the mixer itself. It's really nice, compact with everything you need. It has 3-band EQ with trim, and then we have 4 sound color effects that are located on the left hand side. Let's have a little listen to them and see what they sound like. So we have filter, sounds really nice and smooth in the mix. Noise, always good to make your kind of build-ups more epic. Dub echo. And last but not least, pitch. To the right, makes it go up in pitch, and to the left, makes it go down in pitch. Again, just something that most people are used to using, and most people are used to seeing on a mixer, and it's great that we have got 4 sound color effects for you to use. Just below our sound color effects, we have our mixing to cue and master, and our level adjust for our headphones. To the right hand side of the mixer, we have our beat effects. Very key. I use them a lot, and it's great here. We've got 3 beat effects that I love to use. We have echo, reverb, and flanger. Let's take a quick look and see what they sound like. This is echo. reverb, and flanger. I think they sound really nice and really smooth in the mix. The level depth is at a good size, and then we have our on and off trigger just below that. On the top of the mixer on the left hand side we have aux, so we have line and portable. I would recommend for line to put a CDJ into. Portable, I would use something like an iPhone or an iPad. So going back to what I previously said about the DNA from our Nexus 2 range, this still has that in the mixer. So with the DJM range, you are always going to find your sound color effects on the left hand side. Same with our beat effects, you're still going to find them on the right hand side. And this is great because it means that you can practice at home, go into a club and feel at home. I'm using these in my bedroom, and then when I go into a club, I don't even have to think about it. I know exactly where they are, and this is great for me because it means that I can be more confident on the decks when I play out. Now let's take a quick look at our inputs and outputs. So for our master, we have XLR, and we also have RCA. On the left-hand side of the unit, we have RCA for our aux and a combi jack for our mic. So at the front of the unit, we have our headphone inputs. So we have a 1/4" jack and a mini jack. To the right of that, we have a switchboard for our crossfader curve, allowing you to go through 3 different options. So that, guys, is the XDJ-RR. What we have here is a lightweight portable unit with a 7-inch screen and Nexus 2 DNA. Dual USB with your Rekordbox license key. What more can you ask for? It's great if you want to use it at home or on the road. If you like what you see, get yourself down to Get in the Mix and come and have a play for yourself. Until next time.